teaching is so different. Just because you're a good boxer doesn't mean you're going to be a good teacher, because it's such a different aspect. Like fighting's all about you, what you want to do, how you do it, and everything like that. Everything's tailored to you. But then coaching, obviously, you got to be completely opposite. It's completely about the person that you're training, completely about, yeah. So it's not always transferable, but I feel like I really enjoyed the process of making people better. So that's something I really focused on, and that was really my passion for it, and that's what drove me to be a coach.
Welcome back, everybody. We're joined today by Steven Rados. Steven is a ex-professional boxer, and he's now a boxing coach and a mindset coach as well. Steven, welcome. We're so happy to have you here today.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it.
Anthony, how are you today?
Doing good. What's going on, Jason? What's going on, Steve?
Just here at the gym, just, working away. That's it. Early morning here for me. I'm over in Australia, so it's good here.
Oh, nice.
Very nice. So we're really looking forward to kind of learn about you and your story and kind of figure out how you got to be where you are today. So why don't you kind of start at the beginning and talk us through kind of yourself?
Cool. So I'm 29 years old. I'm from Sydney, Australia. I started boxing when I was about 15, 16. I'm 29 now. And then I've been a boxing coach for, I would say, the better part of that, so maybe like 7 or 8 years. And yeah, I've been a professional boxer. I've pretty much stopped that now as I kind of, transitioned into coaching more and the more of the mindset side of things, because I really wanted to fight more. That was really my passion. And then my passion just kind of changed over time, as it does with things. And yeah, I really got into the mindset side of things and helping people more. I really enjoy that process more than I do fighting myself. So yeah, I just want to help people get better. And yeah, I feel like the coaching is the best way to do that.
How did you first get into boxing? You said you wanted to fight in the beginning. So how did that come about?
So yeah, my dad did it when I was younger, just here and there. And then I always kind of like wanted to do it. Like I would go with him, not like too often. But yeah, here and there. And then just as I grew up, I started playing football. But I always kind of wanted to learn. I want to know how to fight. Like I want to just be able to look after myself. And then, yeah, that was kind of the goal. Like, you get in shape and everything like that. And then I really wanted to box as well. Like I wanted to have boxing fights. And yeah, so just kind of like the passion, the interest in it. And then once I started to do it more and more, I was like, okay, like I actually enjoy this. Maybe I could start to do this like, as a full-time thing. And then, yeah, eventually I just transitioned into boxing full-time and coaching full-time.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm thinking about like how you go from one to the next. Did which aspects of boxing have translated into your coaching methodologies?
They're so different. I feel like you learn so much being on the other side, because normally, like, I was the one fighting all the time. So teaching is so different. Just because you're a good boxer doesn't mean you're going to be a good teacher, because it's such a different aspect. Like fighting's all about you, what you want to do, how you do it, and everything like that. Everything's tailored to you. But then coaching, obviously, you got to be completely opposite. It's completely about the person that you're training, completely about, yeah. So it's not always transferable, but I feel like I really enjoyed the process of making people better. So that's something I really focused on, and that was really my passion for it, and that's what drove me to be a coach.
Was there some moment you can think of where you maybe helped somebody at some point where the kind of switch flipped and you're like, you know what, I want to actually teach other people and help them?
I think it's more the fact that I know that I felt really good doing it, and I was like, fuck, like I can get people to feel like this as well. So it's more that aspect. And then like I've got clients that I've like, you see when they get something right, like the excitement in their face, like it kind of like changes their whole, like, they feel better after they leave the session. They come in really stressed, and then they leave and they feel like massively different afterwards. So it's just kind of that like positive impact that you have on people. I really enjoy it. Just, yeah, it kind of happens in little moments with each client. Like, they'll hit a new goal, they'll like, lose a bit of weight, whatever it may be. But that positive impact you may have just fixed their shitty day. Just that positive impact, you're like, hang on a minute, like I fucking really enjoy this. Whereas fighting, the enjoyment's like after the fight. Like it's good, fucking you have a good training session and stuff like that, and you always feel good after it. But you have a shitty training session, you feel bad after it. But with the coaching, like you always feel good. It's like instant gratification because you're helping people be better, like constantly, every single day. Like the amount of people that you train, you know that you have a positive impact on their life.
It's really admirable. And yeah, lots of people need that, myself included. Having a coach is critical for lots of different aspects of life, fitness included. Do you have any like cool training stories that come to mind? Some really cool milestones or like achievements that you're proud
Yeah,
of since you've started coaching?
definitely. One of my like favorite clients. We have a really good relationship. He was really fat when he comes to fucking train with me, and I openly say that to him and everyone else. And now I no longer call him fat; I call him chubby. He's lost 20 kilos. He's still got a lot of weight to lose, but just I train his business partner as well. And his business partner even comes. He's like, man, thank you. He's like, bro, he used to be so lazy at work, just lethargy. Like I could barely get words out of him. He goes, now he won't shut the fuck up. He goes, he's got so much energy. He goes, it's actually like irritating. He's like, it's something else to get used to. He's like, I'm so used to him being like, so like drained and everything like that. He goes, and now he's bouncing in the mornings. He's like doing stuff. He's like, and the business has gone up like tenfold. He goes, it makes such a difference.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. What have been some of the more challenging moments, either from the boxing itself or from the coaching?
The boxing itself is challenging when you've got a fight in like, 20 minutes, half an hour, and you don't fucking feel like it because it's too bad. You have to get in there. And half the people out there want to see you win, and half the people want to see you get the shit punched out of you. So it's like you're going to go into a very hostile crowd of like people want to see you win, people want to see you lose. And you can't call in and go, hey, can we do this tomorrow? Or like, can we put it off for an hour? It's too fucking bad. It's now, go out and fucking fight. So that would be the boxing side. Then coaching, it's getting people to do things that they don't want to do. Because like I said, that fat guy, he's now chubby. He didn't want to lose all this weight. Like he wanted to like come in and see what it's about. But when you're that big, like you don't want to get up and run or, go to the gym all the time. And same with like other people. I've had issues with older clients. They're like, I don't want to listen to you. Like, you're younger than me. What do you know? And I'm like, well, why'd you come here? Is it because you know everything? And they're like, no. I go, okay, so you come to me for a reason. Let me teach you that. So everyone's kind of got their own challenges. You just got to figure it out what drives them. And then, yeah, try and hit on that.
How did you figure out what drove you when you were kind of struggling with one of those pre-fight mentalities? You just didn't want to do it, but you knew you had to. How did you figure out what got you going?
You just give yourself zero options. Like that zero options mentality, like too fucking bad. You're doing it regardless, so you might as well try and get in the mood for it because it's happening. Whether you like it or not, it's gonna happen.
Are there any sort of other bits of advice you might be able to give someone who is in a maybe a similar situation, maybe not with boxing, but with something else in their life that they don't really want to do? And maybe they're not in quite such a zero option state, right? Like they're not booked in for a fight in 20 minutes, but they have something they need to do. They're not really up for it. Are there any kind of words of wisdom you can give someone that might help them to kind of get over that hump and do the thing?
The best thing is to just take action instantly. Just start taking action. Have like a positive self talk about it. Be like, you know what? And the more I put it off, the more it's going to build up in my head. The worse it's going to get. We often build things up in our own heads, much worse than they actually are in reality. Once you do the thing, you realize it really wasn't that bad. So it's like get out of your own head. Just take some sort of action. Doesn't even you don't even have to do the whole thing, but just take like a little step towards it. If you're dreading, for example, going for a run, don't get up and go for the run right now, but how about you get up and put your shoes on, you start getting dressed, and then you might, once you start getting towards it, you're like, all right, now I feel like going for a run. Maybe I'll just walk outside. And I'm like, you know what, I'm here now, might as well do it. So just take the little steps towards doing the thing and then start to do it. You don't have to like immediately like, you know what I mean, get up and go for a run right now, but start taking the steps towards it, actionable steps.
Yeah, that's great advice. Like little wins. A lot of little wins will compound into something much bigger. And so a little win might be put your shoes on, you know?
100%.
And the
That's what I
next
always
little
tell my
win
clients.
is
I'm like,
go outside.
yeah, I'm like, stack the little wins. I'm like, because they'll build up. And then it builds confidence in yourself. You're like, all right, look, I'm working towards this. I didn't kick the whole goal yet, but I'm like working towards it and I'm going to. Now you're like, hang on, I did this, I got dressed, put my shoes on, I didn't do it for nothing. All right, now I can go outside and I can get this run done. Little wins are the best because they build into bigger wins.
Yeah, that's right. Like one thing that's been a big help for me is in the mornings where if I know I have to do a workout, I'll put all my clothes out the night before because then I'll see it, and I've just reduced enough friction, that I'm like, okay, well now just go put the thing on. I've already picked it all out, and so
Yeah,
just stacking all
if
the conditions in your favor.
100% it makes such a difference. You're like, all right, there's no inconvenience now. All I got to do is get up and go.
Word. So what are you working on these days?
So honestly, man, I'm just doing the same shit every day. So I'm just training myself, training my clients, and then I'm just constantly trying to put positive shit out on my Instagram, building up my business that way. I train some people online and yeah, do some mindset stuff online with them. So just constantly trying to improve myself, learn more, and then teach everyone else to do the same that I come into contact with.
I'm kind of wondering how putting positive stuff out on social media is received by your like the followers. Does it work? Do you get traction that way, or like for example, I know when I would try and get ideas from Reddit, it was always it never went anywhere, right? And it was like consider the audience. And I don't know how Instagram fares, and especially when we have news tends to be negative, and that's what gets the clicks, right? If it bleeds, it leads, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, how do you put positive stuff out there and keep momentum?
So that's funny. So I used to hate talking on camera. I used to say that as well. I'm like, I fucking hate this. And then someone told me, they go, but you're not talking on camera for your benefit. They go, doing it for the benefit of your audience. They go, so why does your like, you know, rights feel like you don't like it? Why does that trump your need to help somebody? I'm like, oh, well, it doesn't. They go, well, get over your own fucking ego and start helping people. And then I realized I got a lot of traction, a lot of like positive feedback from it. And then I started uploading and posting more, and views just went down heaps because I think Instagram doesn't favor it. And then now it started to bump back up a little bit. So I think it just takes some traction, like enough people like start to like it, share it, and then it just builds up. But yeah, at first it started really high just because I didn't post too often. And then once I started getting like continuous with it, it dropped down, and now it started to like slowly pick back up.
Right? It sounds like it went from like a fad to now you're finding your true followers. Like the people who want to be on
Yeah.
the journey with you.
100%. And you know what I noticed as well? A lot of people will watch your stuff, but will not fucking tell you about it. They don't reply to you. But I see them in person and they're like, oh, hey, I watch your stuff all the time. I've got no idea who they are. But I come across them like, either in the gym or in the street, like, because we go to other boxing gyms. Or like I see, people I know at like fucking events. Like I had a wedding on the weekend. And I seen people from school that I don't talk to often. They're like, hey man, I watch your shit all the time. And I'm like, oh, I never noticed because like you don't say anything, like you don't pop up, but they're like, no, no, man, I watch. So you actually have like a positive impact when you don't even realize that I started to notice.
Absolutely.
So what are some of the mindset things that you try and put out for people?
So try and get people to have more of a positive self-talk because we have a little voice in our head, and I think a lot of it is negative when things get hard. So try and change that into a positive because I realized with my own stuff, it's not so hard to just get rid of like negative thoughts and stuff like that, but replacing them with positive ones is much easier. And then having like little wins during your day, sticking to your word because that builds confidence in yourself. Getting out and actually doing something physical that because you always feel better after a workout. It doesn't even have to be anything hard. I always say the most like bang for your buck kind of thing is going for a walk because it's the lowest amount of energy. You can do it anywhere outside, and you just feel so much better afterwards. And you can't say, "Oh, I'm too tired," because all you got to do is walk. And I always think like something physical or like mental. Like I like to work on my business. I read a book. Something that's positive and productive. I always feel like is a little win. So I try and get people to do that because it puts you in an elevated state of mind.
Yeah, I like that about walks. I love going on walks. I'd kind of lost it for a while. I'm getting back into it now. And just like being outside and doing something is such a good like boost to a day if I do it towards the kind of afternoon, or a good way to start a day if I get out in the morning. It's really, really good.
100%. Honestly, like I'd say I put like walking in most of my clients' programs because I'm like, you guys need to get outside. Like you can't be in the gym, you can't listen to your headphones. I'm like, you need to just be outside, be at peace with yourself, think about your own thoughts. You need to be able to be in your own head sometimes. You can't just constantly distract yourself with music or whatever. I'm like, you guys need to have your own thoughts and process what went on during the day, or just forget about it and relax, and then come back feeling a lot better and you can tackle whatever problems you have or whatever. But things can wait 20 minutes while you go for a walk and look after yourself.
I mean, I agree with all this stuff. You know, like today I went for my walk. I've been doing a walk every single day, minus a handful of days for the since January 1st, rain, snow, shine, whatever. And I've tried to make it a point not to bring my headphones with me. All right, like pay attention to what's going on around me. I watch the squirrels chase each other. I listen to the birds. You know, I was like walking today and I got kind of close, and I heard one crow up in the tree make a call, and all the other crows started flying away. I was like, oh, he just ratted me out. But it's just like cool stuff that you get to observe when you're walking around, you know?
If you had your headphones in, you'd miss all of that. You know what I mean? You'd miss that nature, that kind of like that thing that made your walk like, extra like you enjoyed it a little bit more. You'd miss all that shit if you had your headphones in.
Yeah.
And I also like that it gives me ideas for like I like taking care of my lawn and plants and thinking about it's this how this fits into coaching would be like nutrition and food and health and all that. But I go walking around my neighbors my neighborhood and I see all the plants that people got. I look at what looks good and what I want for my own house, and so it's just yeah, I can't speak highly enough about it. Especially it like you said, it's like the lowest friction thing you can do. You walk out your front door and you go somewhere and then you come home. And if you can't do that, it's hard to do things that are like, imagine high intensity for a half an hour or whatever. It's just harder to start.
100%. See, so if I was your coach and you didn't feel like going for a walk, I'd be like, okay, don't go for a walk for physical activity. I'd be like, how about you go for a walk and get some new ideas for your garden? You got to like kind of figure out what drives that person. So now I'd be like, all right, look, like, how about you do something new with your lawn? Go out and look for something new. Go out and find something exciting. So it's not so much a walk or physical activity so you feel better mentally, but it's like, let's go out and clear your head and now you're on a little bit of a mission. How about, you know what I mean? Go see if there's a new way you want to cut your grass or whatever it is that you like about, a new plant that you want. Go out and make that your mission now.
So I'm curious to know what are your goals for yourself, for your business? Where are you hoping to be in 5, 10 years?
Just constantly improving, to be honest, man, to keep getting better. So I never used to want to do online stuff. It really just wasn't me because I like helping people in person. I'm just so much more of a one-on-one. I don't like to do a lot of group training or anything like that. I'll do it, but I like making a positive impact, like one-on-one with having a deeper connection with people and understanding, and you can drive them more. Whereas that kind of gets lost if you're in a group, and I felt like that kind of got lost online. But now you can actually stay so much more and connected, like so much more connected with people online. And I found when I go away, which I don't do often, I don't like to do because I'm like, so many people won't train or do anything while I'm not there. I'm like, you know what, I actually can have a wider reach and impact more people when I'm online. So that's why I've kind of made the move to like doing both now. I'll never stop doing fucking in-person training, but now I feel like I can make reach a wider audience online. So that's kind of the goal, just to keep growing in that aspect and putting more good shit out there into the world.
What is your I don't know if we talked about this already, but have you said what your business is called and how people can find it?
So I'm on Instagram. It's just Steven Rados, StevenRados, and everything's just on Instagram. So people connect with me through there, and then I put them on to if they want to do the mindset stuff training, I've got like an app for that. Otherwise, like I train people, in person. Yeah, so Instagram is Steven Rados. That's my Instagram, and yeah, I'm mainly active on there. I have like TikTok and Facebook and the rest of it. But Instagram is mainly where I'm active and I'm posting on there all the time and yeah, talking to people and stuff like that. So yeah, that would be the main social media platform.
Very cool. And is there anything that you want to ask of us and our listeners, other than trying to find you on Instagram, so that we might be able to help you accomplish your goals?
Um, Honestly, just give me a follow. Share some positive stuff. It doesn't even have to be my stuff, but just anything. Just put positive stuff out there into the world because I feel like people need more of it, and people are kind of scared to do that sometimes. But I noticed once I started to do it, like everyone's like, "Hey, man, like I really needed this." So I think it's something a lot of people need, but a lot of people don't do. So yeah, get over kind of your own ego of like being scared or whatever. Remember, it's not for you. It's to kind of help someone else.
Well said.
Yeah, very well said. Yeah. Any other questions, Anthony?
No, I think this what you're doing is awesome, especially if you're giving out resources. I like you've said this, probably about 10 times during the episode. Just the emphasizing how important positive like content is, and focusing on what we can focus on. It's just great. So I appreciate what you're doing, and I'm glad we got to have this conversation.
Thanks, man. Me too. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we will link your Instagram in the show notes so people can find it easily. We encourage you all go out, give him a follow, interact with his content. I know I will after we leave here. But yeah, Steven, thank you so much for taking the time with us today. It was really nice to meet you and hear all the really cool stuff that you've been doing.
Thank you guys. Really appreciate you both. It was really good to talk to you.
All right, everybody, be well.